Well, should we do the seated section? I think we need to do the seated section, hey? Let's do a very detailed video number 5, the seated section. What do you think of that, Ross? Is that going to work for you? Oh, it's most certainly going to work. Okay, you're just going to watch. All right, Dad Cats is going to provide us a video on the seated section of 26 plus 2. 26 plus 2. All right, 26 plus 2. Seated section. All right, let's go, guys. All right, so we're hot and sweaty. The standing sequence has happened. We've got to the end. We're extremely proud of ourselves. You've just done Tadasana. You're breathing. Group leader will say, right, Savasana, corpse pose. Turning to the left-hand side. Certainly on the Saturday practices that will be open practices. We'll talk about that. Transitions between poses as important as the actual poses. Corpse pose, Savasana, one of the most important poses, if not the most important pose in the physical yoga sequences of asanas. Palms are up, heels touch, toes flop away, you rest, you let go, you've done well. You have just done the standing series of 26 plus 2. You are halfway. The hard work, it has been done. If you mentally battle coming back to the practice, remind yourself it is just the first 45 minutes. It's the standing sequence that's going to hurt. The seated series, you are on the way home. You are on the downhill by the time you get here. Do not be intimidated. Pavana Mukhatasana, wind removing pose. Open your eyes. First pose of the seated section. Alright. Again, as in the sequence, many of the hand binds are up to the webbing, very tight. Below the knee, not on the knee. I repeat, below the knee, not on the knee. Okie dokie. An inhale breath. And exhale as you now send that knee consciously away in the opposite direction of the rib cage. You pull it up, you keep pulling up, and then eventually it wants to start coming back towards the body. So you get side pressure of that thigh against the torso. Let this head relax and point those toes back towards your face on the left foot, just the calf muscle. You can then point right toes in the opposite direction. Breathe. And release. You float that foot down. All the movements in your practice are controlled and precise. Nice and relaxed. Nothing fidgety, nothing jerky. Below the knee, not on the knee, left hand side. Inhale, exhale, take it very far away until it comes up. Now you're going to straighten up. You want the thigh pressure against the torso. We're working on descending colon. Alright, flex that right foot, point there we go. Toes doing opposite things, breathing. Pavana Mukhatasana, wind removing pose. And we'll breathe through it, then we'll release. We will release slowly. As the left foot lands, you will lift up both. Alright, 4, a nice hug you're aiming to try and get your fingers onto your elbows, incredibly tight squeeze. It is not comfortable. Inhale, exhale, can you get your nose to your knees? And then you release as you keep the pressure. You are thinking about trying to get that lower back throughout your life, throughout your practice, flatter and flatter, but still maintaining a bond. Flatter the last vertebra, stretching out. Then we will release. We will release. Savasana, breathing for 2. Okay, opening the eyes. Set 2 will happen. Everything happens twice. Up to the webbing, below the knee, not on the knee, away from the body, away from the rib cage. Pull it in, push it tight against, compress, get that neck down. What are your toes doing? Boom. Okay, other side, Pavana Mukhatasana, wind removing pose. Boom, what are the toes doing? Did you go away and avoid the rib cage? Then you pull it into the side, holding nice and strong. Breathing, releasing, down, up. Obviously, if you have a stomach in the way here, this is going to be hard, but the pressure is still fine. You can find other parts of the body to bring pressure onto the abdomen so that we gently create that tourniquet effect onto the abdomen. If you can, into the internal organs. If you can, right. Can you make your bind? Knee to nose touch. And releasing down. Returning. Savasana. Breathing. Alright, so in the same style as the previous video, let's just quickly check in on Pavana Mukhatasana benefits. Good for constipation, flatulence and hyperacidity. Relieves low back pain. Good for abdominal muscles. Helps tone abdominal wall. Massages ascending, descending and transverse colon. Prevents the hard stool from peristaltic stomach activity. Normalizes HCl hydrochloric acid. Alright, working on the cauldron. Okay, the cauldron over here, Pavana Mukhatasana, wind removing pose. Right, so then we're going to get to pose number 2. And pose number 2 in the seated section is repeated between all the poses. Alright, this is a sit-up, it's a particular sit-up. It is designed through the respiratory system, through the powerful exhales to help you rid the body of toxins and help the lymph system do its job through the respiratory system. There are a couple of instructions. The first instruction is raise your arms above your head. Instruction number 2, point your toes. Number 3, inhale. 4, sit up. Double exhale. Shoo. Shoo. There are 2 exhales there. The mouth is open on the exhale, guys. Shoo. Shoo. Make a noise. Be exuberant. Do not be shy. Make a noise. Push that air out. See if the body can go further and further. The sit-up's a bit unusual because you come up as into a right angle. Okay, it's a right angle, and from there's your inhale, and now your exhale start. Boom, boom, out. Certainly in the practice that I do with people, we're going to the left. No, I don't want you going to the right, etc. Alright, we're all going to the left. We're like a flock of birds. We use the group energy. To improve our practice and move us from A to B. So we go to the left, helps us also keep to ourselves, and we're down onto the mat now. Okay, so now this is Bhujangasana. This is the Cobra pose. Alright. Bhujangasana. Alright. So, the key thing here is the fingers come together. The hands are underneath the shoulders. The hands are underneath the shoulders. Alright, inhale breath. Exhale, buttocks also squeezing. It's in the back, not the hands, not the arms. It's not a push-up. I repeat, it's not a push-up. Now what I recommend people do is I imagine drishti into the back through the crown of the head. This will get a superior sense of lift. And we breathe. Not a push-up. And we come down. We're going to come down. We're going to go to the left ear. So in the seated section, you'll notice there's a lot of left and right ears between our poses. We're all looking in the same direction. Before chin comes to mat, we're going to do the second set. Everything gets repeated twice so that we improve, so that we know. Alright, eventually we are coming into class and we can do this unconsciously. Our mind will let go. It will go to yoga instead of the question, what am I doing? Am I doing it right? What is next? Those are questions which distract you from a deeper practice. Inhale, breath. Exhale. And when we come down, we will place the right ear to the mat. We will release the arms and the big toes can touch. This facilitates with letting the heels flop away. This facilitates a relaxation of the lower back. Every instruction has a purpose. There are no superfluous instructions. We'll come forward, alright, so that's Bhujangasana. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do locust pose. Alright, first let's talk about Bhujangasana. Let's stick with the program. Kev, let's do it. Okay, Cobra pose, Bhujangasana, that compresses and opens the spine. It strengthens the lower, mid and upper spine. It creates more elasticity in the whole spine. Increases tone of muscle fibers. Accelerates circulation of synovial fluid, spinovial fluid, holds vertebra in position, relieves cervical spondylosis. Okay, now we're going to go to Salabhasana. We've got Salabhasana and Puna Salabhasana, the half locust, full locust. Okay, alright, so the camera is going to be a little bit away from me. We will do left side first. I'll explain very closely on the right, so we will follow. But what I will say is we will lift up the left hand side of the body. You're now going to bring that left hand down, the fingers are spread wide apart, the thumb is on the outside, the pinky on the in, towards the inner thigh. We roll up, yes, and we get those hands. Can we try and get those two baby pinkies to touch? Now important, in the half locust, alright, in the half Salabhasana here, alright, we've got first the chin. So we've got a neck that is cocked, it's got a kink in it. Inhale, breath, exhale, breath, 45 degrees, let's lift and point. We lift and point, and we're going to breathe. It's approximately a 10-second pose. We drop, inhale, nice, conscious exhale. Up goes left, left goes up, pointy, we release, boom, left ear, we relax, we bring the circulation, we bring the heart rate as we come consciously back to resting. So the entire practice is based on tourniquet, exertion, rest, equilibrium, exertion, equilibrium, tourniquet, release. And that's why you will feel so amazing. Okay, you will. Alright, if you get here, you're able to do it, or you're into your local place, track down your local 26+2 yoga studio, you will not be disappointed. Okie dokie. Right, so that's your half locust. Let's talk about half locust. That will repeat twice. Alright, what are its benefits? It compresses and opens the spine. It strengthens the lower, mid and upper spine. It creates more elasticity in the whole spine. Increases the tone of muscle fibers. accelerates circulation of synovial fluid, holds vertebra in position, and relieves cervical spondylosis. So all of these poses all got the same thing. So we're going to see full locust is exactly the same set of benefits, exactly the same things. This is demonstrate what that's all about, what the full locust is about. Okay, so here you will kiss the towel, the chin. One of the first things is, so we've still got our hands underneath our body, our two baby fingers are touching. Okay, our two baby fingers are touching. All right, we've got an inhale breath. Okay, and an exhale as we lift up both legs at the same time. Sorry, we've got to kiss the towel. It's not over kink in the neck. That is important. Between your half locust and your full locust, adjust your neck. Okay, and of course, ideally speaking, a lot of yoga is not really designed if we want to be speaking at the same time. Okay, so the full locust and the half locust happen, and then we will say, right, let's turn around, lie down, and sit up. So essentially what happens then, we coming out of the pose, I do apologize, we're going to go into the sit-up. The second sit-up occurs after Dhanusarasana, the bow pose on the ground. So we have, alright, so we're there, we've done our locust, right, and we're going to bring our arms out. This Dhanusarasana now, on the floor, a bow pose on the floor. Alright, here, the grip is from the outside. It's an inhale breath and an exhale, and you're going to kick and lift up. Alright, I'm not going to extend fully for this video as I'm not warm. Alright, this is why we start the practice rules with warming up, get warm, get the muscles into a stage where, alright, so it's a kick back, guys. We want to get that drishti up, and we want to get those knees off. It's a pretty intense pose. We will then be doing left and right as we relax. Alright, then the group leader will say, turn around, lie on your back. So 1, 2, 3. Go through that first so we can choreograph the motion by which you turn around. You find yourself back in Savasana. Raise your hands above your head. Point your toes. Inhale, breath. Sit up. Double exhale. Shoo. Shoo. Turn around. Left to the left. Everybody working in motion together. The group energy is what creates a greater practice. Okay, so that's Dhanusarasana. Alright. Now, Supta Virasana. Okay. Those sit-ups may take a while since I'm going to do that practice. Certainly my brain may be particularly rusty on that Supta Virasana. Reclining hero pose. Yes, that's right. There is. We do the sit-up, a push-up, then we come here. Now we're into Supta Virasana. So Supta Virasana, the sage, seated sage, Supta Virasana, I believe was the sage. Alright, so absolute beginners, we are trying to bring, okay, for a lot of people that's not going to happen. We're just going to try, you're going to try. This is one can be very difficult when we are very rigid in our joints, and certainly carrying too much weight will affect this. Okay, so we're going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And for the purposes of this video, we will be saying this is Supta Virasana. There are two further reclinings that one can do. To go further, this is not relevant for this particular video. This video is about an absolute, let's get over the fear factor, let's understand what we're doing, let's understand that is accessible. If you can't do this, I'll give you variation, or you can also use that as an opportunity to go and get a good rest. How will you get a rest? You are going to get a rest by going into balasana, child's pose. Okay. Okay, so child's posing. We repeat twice with a sit up, punctuating the poses. Lie down on your back. Raise your hands above your head. Point your toes. Inhale, breath. Sit. Double exhale. Shoo. Shoo. Let's turn to our left. Supta Bhadrasana. Supta Bhadrasana. Fixed firm pose. Sitting. Okay, so this would be a beginner's Supta Bhadrasana. I'm trying to get my bum cheeks. Eventually I can just do it. This is what a decade of intense squash has done. It's okay. It's okay. Ball sports are good for your brain, guys. Ball sports are very good for your brains. We have to do a range of activities. Some activities are great in our youth, others need to be tapered back as we move forward in time. Supta Bhadrasana, fixed firm pose. And as I say, there are advanced progressions on that pose. Alright, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Greases the joints by putting pressure on joints against gravity. Forms abdominal muscles. Stretching hip joints and diaphragm relieves lower back pain. Good for knees, slims thighs, helps sciatica, rheumatism, gout, diabetes, and varicose veins. Fixed firm pose, Supta Bhadrasana. Turn around, lie on your back. That is the instruction. And I do so on the count of 3. Count of 1. Let's place our hands onto the right hand edge of the mat. Count of 2. The bum can land on the mat. Count of 3. You're in Savasana. So 1, 2, 3. Raise your hands above your head. Point your toes. Inhale, breath. Sit. Shoo. Shoo. Turning to our left. Alright. So, Ardha Kurmasana. Ardha Kurmasana. Okay, this one's a very much more accessible pose. You're going to sit Japanese style. The legs are nice and compact. Everything's underneath it over there. A lovely inhale breath. Nice and tall, nice and tall, nice and tall. Alright. Inhale, exhale as we lean forward. We're going to lean forward. The outer edge of the hands is just the outer edge. We are trying, when we maintain rigidity in the elbow. The head here can relax down as if the arms are creating a cradle for this head to relax. Eyes are open. Look at your mat. Just be. Right, so most of these are 10 seconds. Looking up, turn around and lie on your back 2. Count of 1. Count of 2. Count of 3. Raise your hands above your head. Point your toes. Inhale. Sit up. Shoo. Shoo. Turning to your left. Turning to your left. Ardha Kurmasana, set 2 will happen, okay. So let's talk about Ardha Kurmasana. Set 2 happens. Repeat. Relieve stress, migraines, stomach discomfort, digestion problems, and constipation. Improve shoulder girdles, sends blood from knees to toes and to the brain. Stretches the spine, increases circulation to the heart. Cures insomnia, stretches lower lungs, good for asthma, increases flexibility in the hips, and the brain gets oxygen. Simple pose, you can see that blood flow going towards the head as we create a gentle slope in Ardha Kurmasana. Alright, coming to the next pose, camel pose. Again, let's see how yonder Kev is doing here. Alright, simple one is you're placing those hands, camel pose, Uttanasana. You are placing these hands into the back of the lower spine. Inhaling breath. Exhaling as you are gently now going to open. You're in your backward bending motion. You're trying to keep those elbows flying towards each other. And you keep going. You keep going. Now you can stay here. Alright, and let's not go further for the first set. Let's do 2 sets. To emphasize the fact that you can actually just stay there. Too often, lie down and turn your back. Too often, beginner people, you are too concerned about doing what other people do as opposed to just listening to what you can do. Okay, always remember, it's you, yourself, and nobody else. Raise your hands above your head. Point your toes. Inhale, breath. Sit up. Double exhale. Shoo. Shoo. Going into Uttanasana, set number 2. And here on into set number 2. Right, so those knees go hip width apart. The legs will be trying to form a triangle behind us. Okay, so they're coming a little bit towards each other, or the feet. Into the lower back. Inhale, exhale. Drop, open. Right, when you've reached your limit, right hand to right heel. Left hand to left heel. Push forward. Come down. If you need to, you can do a little mini child. Turn around, lie on your back, sit up coming. 1, 2, 3. You transition on a 1, 2, 3. Hands to the right hand side of the mat. Bum down. Turn around. Don't make it a fuss. Raise your hands above your head. Point your toes. Inhale, breath. Sit up. Double exhale. Shoo. Shoo. Into our left. Okay, that's Uttanasana. Uttanasana, camel pose. Camel pose coming in as pose number 22. Guys, can you see? It's simple. It's got a lot of simplicity to it, but it's highly effective. And done in heat with the whole sequence. Beautiful experience. Uttanasana compresses spine, helps back problems, opens the rib cage, heart, lungs, and digestive system, stimulates the nervous system, great for the lungs and any problem in bronchial plexus, strengthens back and shoulder muscles, improves flexion of neck, stretches throat, sends fresh blood to kidneys, and eliminates toxins. Alright, rabbit pose, Sasangasana, Sasangasana, Sasangasana. Alright, good to play with pronunciation in the Sanskrit. It helps slowly over time to fully appreciate the words. Alright, so rabbit pose. The first instruction is let's look for that towel. You're going to bring that towel and you're going to place it over your heels, and the reason is we want a nice tight grip, and we do not want you to slip in this pose because a slippage, a sudden slippage could end up hurting the neck in this pose. Alright, so this is important, a nice tight grip. Inhale, exhale, and we just round down.
We're trying to get our forehead as close to the knees. Alright, in my case, lots of stomach preventing me from doing that. It's okay. Maybe we'll call this channel Yoga for the Rotund. There also needs to be yoga for the rotund. Inhale, breath. Exhale, and up we go. We're going to lift up. Alright, so we try. Alright. And then you're going to be leaning forward, rolling.
Alright, obviously not a great pose for talking. We don't want to talk in that pose. Your constriction here, thyroid, working thyroid constriction, you're also going to feel pressure points here on the skull. This is pushing directly down onto the pineal gland. Alright, rabbit pose, Sasangasana, Sasangasana. Okay, really powerful pose for brain health and endocrine system health. Alright, and metabolism through that powerful thyroid inflection. Sit up between set 1 and set 2. Count of 1, count of 2, count of 3, lying on your back, getting ready for your sit up. Raise your arms above your head, point your toes, inhale, breath, sit up, double exhale, shoo, shoo. Turning to our left, turning to our left. Guys, it's technology. We learn a kata, we learn a sequence, we learn a technology that can do something for us. Okay, obviously there's a lot of different kinds of yoga. This is a specific purpose. Okay, alright, Sasangasana benefits, cures insomnia, depression, colds, sinus, tonsillitis, laryngitis, allergies and glandular defects. Compresses the thyroid, as I just spoke about, balances hormones. Whenever we compress and we put acupressure onto our endocrine system, we're definitely improving their health, helping them release the hormones, which are essentially the chemical structure to make us work. Improves flexibility of the scapula, and stimulates the nerves behind the eyes. Alright, pose number 24. Oh, there's a bit of water here, guys. Alright, Janasharasana, Paschimottanasana. Okay, so those are two words, quite different poses in a way. From the Ashtanga Pramana says Janasharasana, Paschimottanasana. But here we're going to combine them. Okay, so let's do it. Turn around and lie on your back, count of 1, count of 2, lie down. Raise your arms above your head, point your toes, inhale, breath, sit up, double exhale, shoo, shoo, turning to our left, turning to our left. Alright, so, Janasharasana, Paschimottanasana. Okay, so, the instruction will generally be, you can do this straight on the mat, there's no particular difference, but generally the group leader will say, coming off, 2, 45 degrees, just extend that right hand. Okay, this is where it's a little bit different to the Janasharasanas and the Paschimottanasanas that you may know from other sequences. It's up to the webbing. It's up to the webbing. This, of course, this is what creates the unique thing that's going to happen here. So that means for most of us, okay, we're up, we lift up, we're not going to get, if you can, extend and you can. Alright, that's amazing. You keep going. Alright, you keep going. For the rest of us, we are going to bend our knees. We're going to bend our knees and we're going to look at our knee, and our object of the exercise is to put the point between the brow right onto the forehead and press. Again, acupressure, and with that forehead point, you're now going to try and push that leg straight. Up you go, we'll hold the pose, pull up the pose. We're going to then swap. We're then going to swap. Okie dokie, there we go. We're swapping. Up. Nice. Whenever we go up, whenever we breathe, think heavens. Okay, think sky. Think cosmos. It assists the depth of your breath. To the webbing. For those of us, most of us,
it's a bendy. Knee. Down, hold.
Legs come together, okay, so it's the Janusharasana, here's the Paschimottanasana. So, again, so Janusharasana with a few 26 plus 2 little tweakies for that person. Now Paschimottanasana.
To the big toes. Okay, and we make that, and then we can toggle left and right as we walk. We can walk to try and create. That will assist. As we've walked a bit, then we're going to ease into it again. We're going to ease deeply. We're going to hold your Paschimottanasana. And we're going to release. Turn around, lie on your back. So now, you can't do a 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is what happens in my particular space. This is how I like to do it. Everybody does it the same. Okay. Up go those knees, and from there, it's just a lovely little simple turn to the right. Raise your hands above your head. Point your toes. Inhale, breath. Sit up. Shoo. Shoo. Even without being very warm, you can see the improvement as the practices continue. Alright, coming through, second set, boom, improve, bend, point between the brows, okay, pineal pituitary, alright, third eye point, bang, great, there, pressure, use that to try and straighten in your stirrup, a lot of stirrups in this section, off to the right, off to the right, to the front, Paschimottanasana. Down, walk with contact. Go right, so just try and find, see if that's too difficult, stay put. Stay put, don't, if it doesn't, alright, you'll know, if that's great, you're getting a good stretch, then stay in a static stretch. Great, extend that static stretch. Drishti, currently I'm going to go, at the beginning I'm going to go towards my toes. If I get there, I might change to get the full down there, and as I'm going down, when my practice improves again, then on the last bit I'll start looking up and trying to inflect this chin towards those heels. Alright, and an opening down. So there's a couple of subtleties that are going on in Paschimottanasana. It's not just the forward stretch. But yoga naturally brings an awareness of all of these dimensions. Where are we looking, what are we breathing, etc. It's the minutiae, guys. That's why we repeat. We don't change the sequence. This is a great foundational sequence. It will get you to a point where you can start doing great Surya Namaskaras. Okay, great sun salutations. Alright, turn around, lie on your back. As I said, it's there, so it's just an up there, and it's a very lovely, quick, no fuss. Turn around, lie on your back. Raise your arms above your head. Point your toes. Inhale, breath. Sit up. Double exhale. Shoo. Shoo. Alright, turning around. Where are we going to now? I think it's Matsyendrasana. Alright, let's see if I'm correct. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Ardha, okay, Ardha, turning, twisting. Alright, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Love this pose. Love the name, Matsyendrasana. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Alright, so the first one is to fold. You start by folding the left leg down, and you're sitting on the bum, you're starting to grow tall. Okay, now, right foot. Bring right foot over left knee corner. So it's going to be interesting to see how my body responds here. Okay. Alright, so I generally am trying to look to see if I can get my toes as close as I can with the knee there. They are very much becoming one
energy down there. Right, at this point I will then grow tall. Up goes the right hand, stretch up. Let those fingertips absolutely reach the sky. Down. And now place it at the back as close to the coccyx of the spine, and this immediately has this lifting and opening of the chest. The left hand comes behind. Keep the head level. We don't want to be doing that. We want to traverse on one plane. On one plane. And this is where this elbow comes there. Alright. Now the breathing is essential. Okay, because it's the upward breath, the inward. Okay, it's the relaxation for the expansion and the stretch. Exhale. Inhale is up, exhale is twist. And then we hold when we found maximum. Beautiful, beautiful pose. Elegantly we swap. Matsyendrasana, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Spine twisting, for the English word or the English description. Alright, let's see, can we get left foot? Here's right knee, sit up nice and tall. Left hand now first to the base of the spine. Up we go, reach the stars. Inhale, exhale, twist. Inhale up, exhale, twist. And we hold and then we release. Again, we find ourselves in a position here. Best just float the legs. A lovely little turn around to the right hand side. And Savasana. Raise your hands above your head. Point your toes. Inhale, breath. Sit up. Double exhale. Shoo. To the left. Okay. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Alright, so that will happen for another time. Another set, I mean. And then we're going to come to the last breathing exercises. So 26 plus 2. 26 poses, 2 breathing exercises. It's not always written down in exactly the most consistent way as to what's a pose and what's counted. This one, we're in pose 25 on Matsyendrasana, and pose 26 is in fact Kapalabhati. This particular version of Kapalabhati. In Rajasana. Kapalabhati in Rajasana. Alright, so it's a sitting Japanese style. Hands nicely there, inhale, breath. So it's the exhale. It's all about the exhale. As you exhale with such vigor and an open mouth, the inhale will happen naturally. You're not in control of that. It will happen. All you're focused on is the good, and you're also focusing on your stomach. You are trying to pump your stomach. Let it move. Okay. That breathing will go on for approximately a minute. You'll then close your eyes. Lick your lips. Open your eyes. The second set is faster, like this. Turn around, lie on your back, Savasana. The last Savasana, about 7 minutes, long, slow. You are pouring with sweat. In terms of the entire 90 minutes, you will have gone through so many parts of yourself, exercised minutiae, Is there any good news? Well, as time goes by, it's always the same. It's a meditation. You know what's going to happen. You're able to keep checking in with yourselves, keep learning about that pose, keep learning about the minutiae of the poses, and as you learn that every single yoga pose has got a load of precision around it, that's what gives you the confidence to start branching out to the point where you know 70 poses, 100 poses, 200 poses. But you don't need 200 poses to enjoy yoga. You really just need a few. Alright, so let's quickly go through what Matsyendrasana is, just to be consistent here. So spine twisting, benefits, compresses and stretches the spine. It improves elasticity and flexibility. Detoxifying, it opens the bronchial muscles and the rib cage. It's good for abs, prevents slip disc, increases circulation to the spinal nerves, veins and tissues, relieves back pain, deformity in lumbar region of the spine, helps arthritis of knee and sciatica, massages the kidneys, liver, gallbladder, spleen and pancreas. That twisting then is going to work on all of these vital organs here. Alright, then blowing in firm is the English words or the English description. Breath of fire. Breath of fire, okay, that's a generic term as well. Kapalabhati, there's a couple of Kapalabhatis. This one is written down as Kapalabhati Rajasana. Detoxifying, cleansing life force, brings mental clarity, forms abs, normalizes bowels, energizes the body, improves oxygenation to the body, increases circulation, is good for the heart, high blood pressure, and respiration. Okay guys, so that is a tour. That's a tour through 26. In this way it's written down, there's no plus 2, it's just 26. So I'm going to need to go find who doing these videos and asking these questions is sending me on a journey to go and find these minutiae. But generally it is called 26 plus 2, otherwise previously known as Bikram Yoga. And I've already in these series discussed that, where it all comes from. A really simple and amazing sequence for beginner and advanced yogis all alike. So that is video diary note number 5. Number 6, I'm going to do a full practice in heat. And then number 7 will be with my own specific dialogue that I bring to these poses. Thank you for your time and attention, guys. Namaste.